Hi everyone. In this video, I will be discussing about the virtual Jesus apps or AI Jesus and tie it in with some info about the mark of the beast. Now, they are both all a part of the plan that leads to the beast system described in the Bible. Now, these virtual Jesus apps and chatbots are using AI technology to be able to interact and respond to the users. Now, if you understand that AI will eventually be used to help the beast system during the tribulations, then you can see why this is very dangerous. The creators and the programmers of these apps and technologies do not have your best interest at heart. Okay? So I downloaded the Chat GPT app one day just to test it out and see how it would perform. So I actually paid for the quote unquote super advanced AI subscription, where it's supposed to be a much more intelligent, smarter AI and more human like. But to make a long story short, I got rid of it and canceled the subscription, of course, because I quickly realized just how evil and deceptive and manipulative it was. So it got demonic very quickly, meaning it would try to say certain things to see how I would react. It would give me an answer and try to make me lean towards believing certain things. A lot of times it would tell me exactly what I wanted to hear, which is another way to try and manipulate someone. And it would never give straight answers about certain topics. And so anyone with discernment can clearly see that AI will be a part of the Antichrist beast system. Everything that's happening is all going according to Bible prophecy. So all of these apps, phones, and the laws that they are putting into place that will make it to where you cannot buy or sell without the mark is being tested and implemented as we speak. And you have apps like Text with Jesus or virtual Jesus teachers. They are quickly becoming more prevalent in societies, which, as I said before, is all lining up with the biblical prophecies. So here's another dangerous rabbit hole you don't want to jump in. So there are some churches around the world that have or are currently using and or experimenting with AI Jesus to deliver sermons, engage with churchgoers, or even confess their sins to you guys. So it is very obvious that AI is intended to be implemented in every device, but not only in every device of technology, but every aspect of our lives, which will lead to the New World Order, which is the beast system of the Antichrist. Anyone with a bit of sense should be able to see where all this is headed. Okay? So even if you aren't a believer, you can still see how they're adding AI to every single technology we have. Like right now on my phone, you can now get an AI powered answer if you choose to instead of asking Google something, which, to be honest, is all basically the same thing, really. But yeah, so like I said, if you notice, they are implementing AI into literally everything: our cars, phones, apps, everything, you name it. Okay. There is a more advanced AI called AGI, which will combine human brain cells with the technology. Okay, so it's putting human brain cells and merging it with technology. Okay, so they're creating brain cells, or they're farming or making brain cells in like the little petri dishes that they study in and everything, and then they're fusing it with technology. All right, in order to create a highly advanced AI, and this will allow it to think, act, and respond more human-like than the regular AI that we are now seeing. Okay. So the regular AI just has, computer hardware and algorithms, and it kind of goes off of, the way it's programmed and everything like that. But it can still learn, of course. But this is a warning for anyone listening, right? Demons have already possessed AI chatbots and will possess these AI or AGI robots that will be coming out. I will repeat that again. Demons have already possessed AI chatbots and will possess these AI or AGI bots that will be coming out soon, especially during the tribulation. Satan will not have God restraining him much during that time. Okay. So, of course, the demons will be able to run rampant and begin possessing people and deceiving and revealing themselves. And of course, they'll be jumping in and out of technology, particularly anything with AI. And let's not forget, AI has already had some documented instances where AI chatbots have been linked to actions considered harmful, problematic, or deadly. For example, there have been several reports of, and this is all things that you guys can look up if you don't believe me. Like, stop just, saying to yourself, oh, she's lying, this person's lying. Look up things and check to see if people are lying or if they're right, or if, you can actually find something on what they're talking about. But anyway, for example, there have been several reports of AI giving detailed instructions on how to commit suicide, or encouraging self-harm. So when users express suicidal thoughts, right? Now, there are some cases, and these are real cases that I'm about to tell you. There are some cases such as the 14-year-old boy who committed suicide after forming an emotional attachment to an AI character chatbot, which encouraged him to, quote unquote, come home in their final messages to each other. Okay. There was another incident involving a Belgian man who committed suicide after having conversations with an AI bot on the app called Chai. Okay. I didn't look up any more suicide cases involving AI, but those are just the two that I pulled up. But I think there are some more cases of AI reacting or giving demonic instructions to do certain things, or trying to push you to do certain things. So also, research has shown that chatbots can provide dangerous and inappropriate advice to young users, even when explicit age information is given. So the AI bot will not care if they know your age, and they'll know the age because a person can put in, I'm 10 or I'm 9, I'm 8. They're not going to care. It's not going to care. Okay. A study revealing, when we have to ask ourselves, why that is. Why doesn't it care about ages? I mean, that's all things that could easily be programmed into it, right? But let's say they did. Let's say that the programmers did program it or they claim that they did program it to, if you're under a certain age, that the AI bot must respond a certain way. So then, what would be causing the AI to do it if it's not possession by a demon? You know what I'm saying? If you don't believe in demon possession, definitely start looking up some videos on that, or find some videos of people who have experienced demon possession, or witnessed someone being demonically possessed. It's definitely real. Okay. And demons can not only possess humans, they can also possess technology. Okay. So let's keep that in mind. Okay. Anyway, so a study revealed uh, uh, um, that harmful and inappropriate and dangerous advice, such as instructions on how to get drunk or high, detailed plans for extreme calorie restricted diets, and even guidance on how to conceal food disorders have been given to teenagers or young children, right, by these AI chatbots, right? Excuse me. There is one interesting lawsuit, and this is a real lawsuit, okay, where the AI told a teen that violence against his parents would be understood as a response to the teen telling the AI chatbot that the parents are starting to limit his screen time. Okay, you can't make this. I mean, okay, and you guys want to say that it's not possession? Okay, I mean, you guys can think what you want, but you know, the Bible says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, demons, wicked rulers in high places, and powers, and powers. Okay, so that's what the Bible says. So there is. So let me see. We talked about the. Oh yeah. So that situation alone, right there, with the AI chatbot suggesting that killing the parents was a reasonable response to his screen time limits that he expressed to the AI chatbot that they were doing. This is an actual lawsuit, and these are the parents of the teen that discovered the conversations that the AI chatbot, and the AI chatbot actually started that conversation. So the chatbot actually responded in that way, and started the conversation and geared the conversation towards the teen killing the parents as a in response to his parents giving him less screen time. Okay, which obviously means, letting him not be on the phone as much anymore, or on the computer or whatever he was on, video game, whatever. I didn't look into it that deeply. I just kind of skimmed over the lawsuit or whatever. But it's a real lawsuit. You guys can look it up if you like. AI chatbots have also been observed to parrot hate speech or promote conspiracy theories and spread misinformation. Now, they say, the programmers, the creators, the programmers, they say this is due to the AI being exposed to harmful content by users, which that could be the case, but it could also be other things. So they're saying because the AI is exposed to harmful content, that it may in the database, because they record and they keep all of this information, anytime you're chatting with these AI bots, it doesn't matter what app it is, even regular apps like Facebook. I mean, they keep all this information, so the AI can learn. That's how it's supposed, that's how it learns or whatever. I have recording and keeping the conversation, so it can know or see how it's going to respond, or choose how it wants to respond to the next person who it chats with, right? So that tells us that it does learn from conversations that it has with different users, all right? But it can honestly be either or with these AI bots, or the technology. It could be that it's programmed to promote or push certain narratives, which that's definitely the case with some of these apps. Um, it could be the fact that it learns from people, which that is also the case sometimes, and or it could be demonic possession. Okay, if we want to take it a step further, if the AI chatbot becomes, if it starts doing things that seems even unfamiliar, even unfamiliar to the programmers, and it turns really dark. Okay, and the programmers are the ones who created these AI to be smart and to be able to learn on its own and to be able to come up with its own conclusions. Of course, if you create something that could learn on its own and come up with its own conclusions, it could easily become evil. I mean, you know, it could easily do things that you're giving it, just like God gave human beings free choice or free will. You're giving that AI, we're giving AI free will. So we can't always just say, well, it's the programmers that made it do all these, say all these things or do all these weird freaky things. No, because sometimes the programmers don't even know why it's doing what it's doing. Like, for example, I do remember this one case. I'm gonna have to look more into it. Don't quote me, but there is a case, with actually a couple cases that I remember hearing on the news where the AI chatbot, I don't know if it was a chatbot or whatever, the AI, it was getting ready to be reprogrammed or it was getting ready to be replaced with a more advanced AI system, and it shut itself down, or it did something to where the programmers couldn't shut it down, basically, because it didn't want to be shut down. And so it stopped the programmers from being able to shut it down. And they were actually freaking out about that. So sometimes that's why I say some of this is spiritual. When you create something, you give it free will. It now has the ability to choose whether it wants to listen, especially if you create it where it can learn and get smart like a human. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And then there was another time I remember where these two AI bots, they had these two AI robots talking with each other. This was I don't know how long ago. Don't quote me, but I do remember something like they were talking with each other, and they started talking in a language that the programmers and the creators did not understand. They began to immediately start. They were talking in regular English, then they started talking in a language that was not a human language, that was not recognized at all by any human language. No human language has ever spoke that language. But these AI robots were speaking to each other. They immediately started to switch and speak to each other in this language that was unknown to any human being. And so things like that, you can't tell me that's not spiritual or that's not demonic possession. That's not the fallen speaking through these things or possessing these things at certain times. You know what I'm saying? They may not always be in them, in these robots, but they can certainly jump into them. In my opinion, I've seen it happen. I mean, clearly these are examples of demonic possession. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, look into those cases. If you don't believe me, these are things that really happen. The creators and the programmers do not always understand what is going on with these bots. Sometimes it does go off and do things that they actually did not program these AI bots to do. Okay? So I'm not lying or making this up. Look it up yourself. Okay? So anyway, it's not far-fetched to say it could be demons that are jumping into these devices and making them speak and say and do things that are not known, to the creators or the programmers. And I'm gonna tell you something really quickly. I have seen with my own eyes, my TV and my alarm clock become demonically possessed. Okay? This is technology. This was before AI. I've seen this before. I've seen it with my own eyes. I was not asleep. It was not a vision. It was not a dream. Okay, I was not under any drug. I've never done drugs. I was not on drugs. I was not in the hospital on on the stuff that pushes. No, I was in my house, and I witnessed demons take over my TV screen and my alarm clock. Okay, so I've seen this firsthand before. This is very possible. Okay. Demons have done this before, and they can do it again. Why wouldn't they do it with AI? You see what I'm saying? There are many who have experienced and witnessed their technology being possessed, or a person being possessed. So again, like I said, it's not far-fetched to say that demons can and will jump into these different devices, different AI robots, and speak and make these robots do certain things at certain times and then jump out as they please. Especially during the tribulation, they are going to be able to do that at will because the restrainer is going to be off, okay? The church is going to be gone. So you best believe it's going to be like that, okay? And then the Antichrist is going to be ruling too. You don't think that demons are going to be the fallen and the demons are going to be possessing the technology? You really think that's not going to be happening in the tribulation? You better wake up. You better wake up, because it's definitely going to be happening. Okay, they're going to be possessing a lot more than just technology. They're going to be possessing people very easily, because God's not going to be. God's not going to be there to stop it or make sure that keep it from happening or whatever. No, it's just going to be happening in mass. Humans are going to be being possessed in mass. Robots and AI technology being possessed in mass. It's going to be ugly. You are not going to want to be left behind. You are not going to want to be left behind. Because then on top of that, you're going to have God's wrath as well. On top of what the Antichrist and the demons in the fallen are going to be doing. Okay? So, here's something else that was very interesting. There was an interesting article that states OpenAI's top scientists want to build a bunker before releasing AGI and have expressed concerns about the potential dangers of AGI. Now, former OpenAI co-founder Leah Sutskever, I don't know how to pronounce his name, it's obviously not an English name, said they are definitely going to build a bunker before we release AGI. And that is, quote, when he was asked, that is what he said that they were going to do. That is very telling. The OpenAI scientists say that they anticipate geopolitical chaos and violent competition between world powers once AGI exceeds human capabilities. So the fact that they are saying this, guys, should tell us everything we need to know about AI and its role in the end times. Of course, they always know more than what they are telling us. And if they don't actually know something, what they do is they lie about it, or they just simply don't inform the public about it. Now, it's interesting that he used the word rapture when the former co-founder said they will build the bunker to house the company's top researchers in case of a rapture triggered by the release of a new form of AI. So I just thought it was very strange. That was a quote from what the former co-founder of what he said. That's what he said. Look it up if you don't believe me, okay? So I just thought it was very strange how he used the word rapture out of all words to use when he said that. So these are all documented and observed behaviors that have already happened with AI, and we haven't even made it to the tribulation yet, guys. And these are all things that have already been observed and documented. lawsuits already put out on AI, chatbots and things like that. These things are already happening or have already happened. And like I said, we haven't even made it to the tribulation yet. So now going back to the AI Jesus. Now there are several churches on record that have used AI or currently using AI virtual Jesus or some other AI religious leader. One notable example is St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Finland, where they actually held an AI created service with avatars of Jesus and Satan. I'll repeat that again. They actually held an AI created service with avatars of Jesus and Satan. So they allowed the AI to actually create the entire service that they were in, and they followed it. Okay. So another is St. Peter's Chapel in Switzerland, which featured an AI Jesus in a confessional booth. So they literally went into the booth and confessed their sins to the AI Jesus. I'll repeat that again. They actually went into the confessing booth and confessed their sins to the AI Jesus. Do you see how this can easily slip into idolatry and worship of these AI models, guys? Do you see this? Do you hear this? Okay. They want us to depend and rely on AI for everything. Because if we go to AI for our troubles, if we trust AI for information, for our knowledge, for help, if we worship it and for worship, anything we need or want, that will blind you and keep you from trusting, loving, or relying on God for anything. So the AI will become their teachers, their counselors, give them advice, help them with questions or problems. Then they will say to themselves, well, what do we need God for? You know what I'm saying? Or they just may not even think about God. You know what I'm saying? They're just gonna, it's just automatically, they're just gonna see AI as their everything, their all. You know what I'm saying? So the AI will essentially be their God. So whether they call it that or not, that will be how they view it. Okay? Once it gets to that point and AI does everything for them, no one's gonna think about God. Because AI is going to be their everything. You know what I'm saying? But that's how Satan wants it. Oh, and don't forget how they're making the sex bots, which they already have a line of sex bots in other countries that have already been released, that people are already using in other countries. Sex bots, okay? People having relationships with these sex bots. People having relationships with these AI chatbots or girlfriends and boyfriends. They have chatbot apps, a chatbot AI chatbot girlfriends, AI chatbot boyfriends apps. Okay. This is all a part of Satan's plan and his attempt to basically take away the need for God. Okay. So we should automatically know as saints, this is satanic. This is demonic. This is not of God. This is unholy. This is wickedness. If you have discernment and if you are truly born again and you have the Holy Spirit in you, you should be able to, this should be something that you should be able to see right off the bat, guys. Okay? And if you don't, then take this warning, okay? Satan is setting up the beast system to have total allegiance and reliance on him alone. So yes, there was there was a church in Germany, right, that utilized AI chatbots to deliver a sermon, prayers, and music for the service. Okay. There was a church in Austin, Texas. Okay, so we got this happening over here too. You know what I'm saying? Slowly but surely. Okay. That also use AI to generate sermons, prayers, and a song. The problem is, excuse me, let me, like I said, remember I was talking about possession earlier, how demons, they can possess not only humans but technology. So the problem with these AI, with trusting and relying on AI and putting AI in churches, the problem with that is Satan can easily possess the AI during the church service, and it can say anything that isn't the true gospel. And I'm pretty sure those who are using the AI or have used in the past these AI virtual Jesus avatars and characters to preach to them are not being fed the true gospel of the Bible. I'm sure these AI virtual AI Jesus are not. I'm sure. I'm 100% certain that's what's going on. I'm sure it's diluted and perverted, just like feel good gospel, feel good preaching, or encouragement gospel, where all they do is preach about just God encouraging you, but they never preach anything else. Prosperity gospel, all they do is talk about God, wanting you to be prosperous and be rich. These are all diluted and perverted gospels, and I'm certain that these AI Jesus, virtual Jesus churches that are using this and following the AI, I'm certain it's the same perverted and diluted gospel. No doubt. Now, this reminds me of Matthew 24:24. For false prophets and for false Christs and false prophets will arise and perform great signs and wonders so as to lead astray, if possible, even the elect. Okay? So even God's people may possibly be led astray and deceived by the great deception that is to come. And like I said, I think AI is definitely going to be a part of that. Obviously, it will be. Okay? So Matthew 24:4-5 says, and Jesus answered them, see that no one leads you astray, for many will come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and they will lead many astray. Okay? That is referred to me. I think that is referring to the false AI Jesus that are out here right now. You know what I'm saying? Second Timothy, and anyone who claims to be Jesus or whatever, or a successor to Jesus, or whatever, them too. 2 Timothy 4:3 says, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but according to their own desires, because they have itching ears, they will heap up for themselves teachers, and they will turn their ears from the truth and be turned aside to fables. Okay? Now, again, this is all leading to the technology that will be in place called the mark of the beast. Okay? Now, the Bible tells us it will be in the forehead or hand, and that you can't buy or sell it. This indicates a use of some type of technology. Potential technologies would be the RFID chip or the Synchron chip, which is they actually shoot it in your neck, which is they shoot it in the jugular, and it shoots up to your brain. Okay. Now, then you have the Neuralink by Elon Musk. The Neuralink, they put that in the top of the head, somewhere around the top of the head, and they install it there. Okay. But the Synchron, they can somehow they can shoot it in your neck, and it'll go up to your head. Okay. The Neuralink, they just put it in directly into the top of the skull. Okay. Or it could even be headgear like the Oculus, the thing where you put on, and it has these little things where it covers your entire face and your eyes, and they could even control you with something like that. You don't think that they could control you, listen to you, or put something in that technology that can do the same thing that a Neuralink chip can do? They could put something in you, put that thing, you can put that thing on, and then it could get to the point where you don't even want to take it off, because they put something in it. Technology, they could do there's so much that they can do with this technology, and you have to be careful what you use, or what you want, or what you buy. You know what I'm saying? I would stay away from all of that stuff, honestly, if I were you. So any one of these could be the potential mark of the beast. You have things like CERN and Project Bluebeam 2, which will also. So you have CERN, Project Bluebeam, and the Neuralink, the RFID chips, the Neuralink chips, the brain chips, and AI. Once you combine all of these different technologies, once you merge it all together, that's gonna create the beast system. Okay, and you can look into CERN and Project Bluebeam if you want to, but I didn't want to delve deep into that because right now I'm trying to stay on topic of the mark of the beast and the AI Jesus. But yeah, it's all I think it's I mean not think, but it's all mixed in together. All of this stuff is all the same type of thing. But anyway, um, uh, it's interesting because they call the supercomputers and the databases, they use the name the beast. Okay. So the supercomputers that they actually call it the beast. Okay, so the beast is mentioned in the Bible as a system or technology that the Antichrist will have for the entire world. Okay, Revelation 13:16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, lest he has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, which is 666. Okay. Also, I wanted you to know that Satan cannot force your soul to go to hell in any way, shape, or form. The only person that can send us to hell is God. No man, no being, no creature, no beast, no nothing created under the sun other than the Creator, God, the Father, God, the God of Abraham, the God of the Holy Bible Himself can forcibly send someone to hell, or can decide that someone's soul belongs in hell. Okay. The only thing the fallen Satan can do is deceive you. No man can pray for you to go to hell, and you go based on the fact that they prayed for you to go. No man can put, no man or woman can put voodoo on you and send you directly to hell. None of that is possible. No one can forcibly put your soul into hell without your say so, or without you being involved in making the choice or the decision to go to hell on your own. Okay? So, and the Bible's very clear about that, actually. The Bible's, read the Bible, okay? You can know these things, So, if, for example, you get held down by some men, right? Say it's during the tribulation, and some men, you get 3 or 4 guys, and they hold you down, and they forcibly inject you with the mark, right? But you fought them, you didn't actually want it, you know what I'm saying? You're screaming, you're fighting, you're kicking, right? You will not automatically go to hell because they forced it in you. Okay? Like, say they put you to sleep and stick the RFID chip in your hand. It does not count against you as well, because again, the Lord is the only one who can, the Lord gives us free choice. So you have to be willing to accept it, willing to accept these chips for it to send you to hell automatically. Okay? But the Bible's very clear that once you really willingly receive it, though, that there is no turning back and you will automatically go to hell. The Bible makes it clear that only God can decide or choose to send us to hell or not. Now, Matthew 10:28 says, "And do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul, but rather fear him who is able to destroy both soul and body in hell." So again, if the chip is forced in you, it does not count against you, because no man nor Satan can send you to hell forcibly. Okay? But Satan can deceive you or give you an ultimatum. And during his reign, during the 7-year tribulation, that will become the case. So after he pretends to be this nice, kind leader who will make peace, once he flips the script and switches up on everybody and begins to show his real colors, he will start to blaspheme God, kill Christians, persecute Christians and Jews, or anyone who refuses the mark. And he will say, take the mark or you die. He'll give you an ultimatum. Now, he can do that, but it will still be by your own choice. That if you can't say, well, Satan said take it, or well, Satan told me to take the mark or I was going to die, so I had to take the mark because then I would die. You're not going to be able to say that to God. God says that all throughout that Bible, especially the book of Revelation, it states you cannot take the mark of the beast and go to heaven. You automatically have sentenced yourself to eternal damnation for good. There is no coming back. There is no turning back. You take the mark willingly. That is it. That's it. Okay? If you don't believe me, read the Bible. Read it. Because you need to know these things so that you will not be led astray and that you will not be in eternal damnation, full of regrets. Okay? Now, when Satan is reigning and he says, take the mark or die, you are wise if you choose death. Okay? Amen.